Why you can't provide any measurements done over the Earth?
Elevation angle measurements. Hold on. Everyone else, stop.
Navigation.
Everyone else, stop.
Aerospace. Sorry.
Yeah. Elevation angle measurement. I've said it to you 3 times. This is your last opportunity to respond to it. I've said it 3 times and asked you to respond to it 3 times. If you ignore it 3rd time, it's the end of your visit here. I've offered you measurements.
I asked you what elevation. I didn't even ignore you last time.
And I answered that too. I said any elevation. Parallel zeniths. Did you understand what my response was? Clearly, you either didn't listen or understand it, or like now you talk straight through the middle of it. So your time's over.
How far do you move away from the actual point when you address morons? How necessary is it, and how much is someone who's just trying to take the information in, how much are they getting confused by the terminologies?
I'll address that. I'll address that. I would say that's not how celestial navigation works. A sextant is an angle measuring device. It could only work with a flat baseline. All your arguments are invalidated just by you carrying on with nonsense. Go and study it. Come back when you're more ready to debate. It's over. I wouldn't even go any further. They're not talking the same thing. It's apples and oranges at this point.
In my opinion, they don't have any point.
Except when they're telling us that they need a flat plane to do this. Because after that, then we're all done. Whatever you do with your little theoretical math afterwards, that's nice. But what did you start with? A flat plane? Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chocolate, because then Zanuck comes on and says, well, I need a flat baseline to do everything first before I start imagining I'm on the globe.
Yeah.
Hold on, but why? Why can't they just use the sphere? That's my question. Why can't they just do it on a sphere?
Because they can't. It's an angle measuring device.
Because it's measuring an angle. Yeah, we all say it in unison. Because you can't get an angle from a curved baseline, Neil. They can't do it. That's why they're
saying that myself.
Thank you very much.
That's why they're begging us for a plane. They say tangent, but we debunked that in 2020.
Where the Earth measurements at? Why does nobody measure the Earth directly? I said nobody measures the Earth directly anymore. I thought flat earthers measured the Earth, but apparently not.
Sorry, were you keeping up with the conversation? Elevation angle measurement proves Earth is flat. That's a measurement.
Yeah, but what did they do? Where did they measure it at?
On Earth, on the surface, to navigate with. Do you understand what navigation is?
Yeah, but...
So do you understand that's done? Well, if you understand... Sorry, my friend.
Going from one point to the next point, you would navigate from point A to point B, correct?
Hello. When you get to an embarrassing part of your interjection, you don't just rumpus me when I point out how embarrassing it is to ask me.
I was trying to
if it's
answer the question.
Yeah, I'm going to point out that embarrassing shit you just said again. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, you asked me if it was in relation to the ground, and when I point out it's navigation, obviously it's in relation to the ground. I then ask, why would you ask such a silly question? If you know what celestial navigation's for, why would you infer that it's not in relation to the ground? That doesn't make any sense.
What's celestial mean?
Celestial means the arc of the heavens. What does navigation mean?
What does it have to do with the Earth?
You're using the GP, ground position, or geographical position of the star, where you would be standing on the ground with that star above your head. Do you understand that?
So you're looking at the sky to prove that the Earth is flat?
We're looking at the sky relevant to the ground where you are standing to navigate. Not me doing it, navigators doing it. It's a well-documented, well-established process for moving around on the ground. Yes, you use the stars.
You say this proves the Earth is flat.
Yes, it does. You can only get an elevation angle measurement from a flat plane. That's correct. It proves Earth's flat. But
yeah, you know the black swan, right? Why don't they do that over land? What's up with that?
Did you want to change the subject? That's right. Did you have a response to the fact that Earth is proven flat with an elevation angle measurement? Did you want to address that rather than changing the subject?
Well, I don't even know what that means. We could start.
It means that when you measure an angle to do navigating along the ground, the one that you're a bit confused about, then that is done with a flat Earth. That's what it means. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but who does that?
Navigators.
Yeah, but I don't navigate.
You don't? Well, then you're just, what, surplus to this requirement because you can't read a book about doing it? Go and read a book about it then, clown.
Why do you worry?
Do you think we care what you do, clown show?
Earth, flat
do you think
Earth
we care what you do? My friend, do you think we care what you, one little man, does? Meanwhile, celestial navigation does this. I answered your question. You told me you don't do it, like I care.
So no one measures the Earth?
Yeah, navigators! Are you dumb? What's the problem here? You've said nobody does it. I've said, yeah, they do. We do it when we measure an angle. It's called an elevation angle. It's a measurement to navigate the surface. It's done flat. And your response is nobody measures. Are you just dumbfounded by what I've told you? My flat Earth proof too overwhelming for you?
How long does it take to zoom in on a camera?
Sorry, we're going to change the subject again, zooming in on cameras rather than acknowledging that a flat Earth elevation angle measurement proves we are on a flat plane. We are navigating with that measurement on the surface.
Who's we?
Navigators.
I'm not one of them.
Oh, well, then bugger off.
This is refractor. Hang on. This is refractor's curvature's point. This is what they do. This is where we ignore them. He comes into a conversation he knows nothing about just to distract. Goodbye. Get lost.
Dumb.
Go study.
My friend, you're not a navigator. You don't know anything about navigation. You're here challenging me, who's talking about navigation. Now, bugger off and go and get a book on navigation. It will demonstrate to you how...
no evidence.
You're not going to interrupt me while I tell you what to do, Dumbo. I'm going to tell you that you're too dumb to take part in this conversation. You need to go and get a book on navigation. Now, if you feel after reading that book, i.e. actually understanding the subject matter, that it doesn't require a flat plane to measure an elevation angle, then come back and challenge us on that fact. Yeah, because it does. You'll find that out if you read about it. Go away, educate yourself. You're too dumb to take part. Ask me who does it again, clown show.
Can I ask him a question?
That was the same Si Arwin made when he was balding earlier. Did you hear that, Si? That's the same Si Arwin made. Yeah. When you are defeated, that's the sigh of defeat.
He's been in 24/7. He's one of the passes, one of the I have no position. I don't even know what I am.
Oh, that's all right. I can tell him. I can tell him what he is. You're a flat earther. Because if you were to navigate the surface of Earth, you'd be doing it with measurements that prove and required Earth to be flat. If you don't know what you are, let me be the first to tell you. You are a flat earther. I absolutely assure you.
I'm not a flat earther.
You are. You're navigating and measuring a flat plane, as are navigators. You may not be one of them, but I assure you Earth is navigated flat.
Welcome to the real world.
Yep. Now you know what you are. Go and read a book on navigation.
I mean, you were asking questions about measurements before and said flat earthers and measurements and stuff. Do you think the globe makes measurements?
I know flat earthers don't take measurements.
They take elevation angle measurements that prove the Earth is flat. People navigate with them. It's done on a flat plane. That would be the surface. The surface they are navigating. Those measurements, that would be elevation angle measurements, prove beyond certitude Earth is and can only be flat. Would you like to stick your head in the sand and ignore that statement or refute it?
At what elevation?
What do you mean, what elevation? Any elevation. Any, because of parallel zeniths, as described on the show you weren't listening to, clearly.
Well,
I already said I don't think.
You don't think? Thanks for telling us.
It's a waste of time. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Why, you can't provide any measurements done over the Earth?
Elevation angle measurements. Hold on. Everyone else, stop.
Navigation.
Everyone else, stop.
Aerospace, sorry.
Yeah. Elevation angle measurement. I've said it to you 3 times. This is your last opportunity to respond to it. I've said it 3 times and asked you to respond to it 3 times. If you ignore it 3rd time, it's the end of your visit here. I've offered you measurements.
I asked you what elevation. I didn't even ignore you last time.
And I answered that too. I said any elevation, parallel zeniths. Did you understand what my response was? Clearly, you either didn't listen or don't understand it. Or like now, you talk straight through the middle of it. So your time's over.